This is how I went from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month in my business. Keep in mind, this is a personal experience that I'm sharing here, and there is, I guess, a million ways to do that, but I will share my own story and what I truly believe in on how to do it the best way, because it has worked for me. And this is also the way that I teach it to my clients, because I've seen it work for me, but also for the people that I've been working with. So to give you a little bit of a context, I started as a health coach in veganism. A couple of years ago, this was my focus of my business. I was a vegan health coach. I was doing it because I was extremely passionate about veganism. I was extremely passionate about health. I was extremely passionate about fitness. And so I found it a perfect category to start in. To be honest, I went from $2,000 to $10,000 a month pretty quickly, and I was able to maintain it for most of the time. Yes, of course, sometimes my income would drop by a couple of thousands, or it would be more than 10,000. But generally, I was able to hold it at that certain threshold for quite some time. Today, I will share with you how I have done it and the steps I've taken. The first thing I have done in my business was stepping away from one-to-one clients and creating a group program. When you are serving one-to-one people, one-to-one clients, there is only a certain hours you have in a day, in a week, that you have available to serve clients for, but also your hour can be used so much wiser than serving a lot of one-on-one clients. Don't get me wrong. In the beginning of my business, this is all I've done. I was serving a lot of one-on-one clients because I was new to the world of coaching. I wanted to get experience. I wanted to get direct feedback. And at the same time, I was collecting a lot of testimonials. So I was very lucky to get a lot of great testimonials. And that, of course, I have then later on used as leverage when I started selling my other programs. But long story short, after a couple of months of doing lots and lots of one-on-one calls to a point where I literally had no more space left in my calendar, I decided it was time to create a group program where all I had to do was show up once or twice per week on a call for 1 hour, and everyone was in it instead of having a single session with each person. And this is the first thing I've done. The people that were still one-on-one clients with me, I put them together in the group. And then eventually, as they started to fade away, as they started to finish the program, I would only sell this program. And it became really great, actually, because with that, a lot of these women who joined the group program realized that they actually wanted to be part of a community. They wanted to be part of a circle of women who wanted to hear from other people's experiences. And that is also my experience still to this day, that people truly appreciate real human connections. Even if it's still virtual, it really made a big difference to these people's results as well, to how they were feeling, and that they didn't feel alone in this whole process. This is the first step I have taken. I went from serving lots of clients on a one-on-one basis to serving lots of clients in a group program. And of course, this allowed me to bring in more people, which then helped me increase my income. And if someone still wanted to do one-on-one coaching with me or wanted to have more time with me, I upgraded them to a higher level one-on-one, and I had a limited amount of spaces available. So it was still fair for what they were paying me per hour, and I felt like I was fairly compensated for that as well. The next thing that I have done is I focused on one problem only that I was solving, not a million problems. I really want everyone who's watching this and is considering starting a business or has a business to keep the business as simple as possible. It's not about having a million different offers. It is about solving one problem in the beginning. Later on, once you have a bigger audience, once your clients know you, once your audience trusts you, of course, there's a lot more that you can create. But I became known for helping women how to lose weight. That was the number one thing I was focused on. Yes, of course, as people were joining my programs, there were also other things that we were struggling with, like bloating or relationship with food. But the number one thing I wanted to solve was help vegan women lose weight. And so that's what all of my content was about. That's what the program was about. Within the program, I helped them with what they truly needed help with. But most people who wanted to lose weight on a vegan diet, that's what they were searching for. They weren't only looking for relationship with food or bloating. And all of my content was about that. I was educating people about vegan nutrition. I was educating people about mistakes that people do at the gym or while they're eating, how to balance their nutrition. And so my content was very much aligned with my program. I gave a lot away for free, but of course, there were only a certain things that I was able to give away for free. I wasn't able to give away for free like a personalized meal plan. So that is something that people would get in my program. Of course, they weren't on live calls. So I think a lot of people are also scared to give a lot of value away for free because they're like, well, if I do that, people will not pay me. I do think it's quite the opposite, because when you give a lot away, people will start to trust you more. They will have their own mini transformation and they're going to be like, oh, if I get this in a free call or in a free YouTube video or on a free post, what will the paid service look like? And then they get the true transformation that they came for. And so, as I was saying, focus on one thing only. And within the program, I always love to say, show them what they want and then give them what they need in the program. Marketing and a program is very different. When you market to what a person wants or what their problem is and that you're able to solve it. In the program, you go through all of the details of how to solve that problem. But it's not about talking about all the details that are happening in your program to your audience, because people do not care. They want the result. They want to know that you're the right person for them. And the way to communicate that is through educational content. It's through problem awareness content. It's through value content. They will start seeing you as an authority, and then they're more likely to sign up with you and work with you. The next thing that I have done that has helped me go from 2K to 10K pretty quickly is I offered extensions and upgrades for the people that were already working with me. So my program at that time was, I want to say 12 weeks or 16 weeks long. I'm not really sure anymore, but people could extend if they wanted to, which was perfect because yes, you can transform within 4 months, but some people needed more transformation. Some people needed more accountability. Some people wanted more of everything that we were doing. And so I offered them immediately an extension to stay for another 3 or 4 months at a lower rate. I also offered upgrades to those people who wanted to have a one-on-one session with me or work with me one-on-one afterwards or had more questions. I found a way to utilize the people that are already with me, that already trust me, that I don't have to sell to. They already love me. They already love my product. I was offering them something else so they could continue staying and they could keep getting the value that they came for in the first place. Yes, it's very important to acquire new people, right? And you want an influx of new clients as well, but you also already have people who trust you. You already have people you've built a relationship with. When I saw it that way, I was able to increase my income by quite a lot because I had so many people who loved my program, who trusted me. Of course, it also goes hand in hand with having a great product, right? It's not just about getting lots of people in and hoping they would stay if your product sucks. That's the truth, right? So I made sure I kept optimizing, I kept improving, I kept putting in new content, new ideas. And so I was optimizing all the time with the feedback of my clients to make it a great experience. And when a client has a great experience, they're more likely to stay or even return. I've had return clients who worked with me 2 years ago and just came back again, right? Because they realized, oh, there's more stuff that is coming up. Even though they had a beautiful experience and a great transformation, they're like, there's more that I want to learn, right? And so it's this mindset that has really helped me scale and also build trust with my people. And even if, a person didn't extend or upgrade, I had so many people who left in a super happy way with great testimonials. People on the outside will feel that energy. They will notice if you're a genuine person, if you're a genuine coach, if you're a genuine person that is selling their product or service. They will feel that energy doesn't lie. And if other people are speaking highly about you, it's a ripple effect of what can happen. I've also had a lot of word of mouth people that came to me because of other people, which was really great. And it keeps happening now that I've shifted my focus in my business. But that's truly what has helped me make that money. It's using the people that I already had, but also making the experience for the people really, really great. The next thing I have done is in my marketing, I really showed the transformation that people have been through, but I initially only started with my own. You don't need a lot of testimonials or a lot of stories about other people. It is about your transformation first. Literally what I'm doing right here, how I went from 2 to 10K. That's what people are interested in. They want to hear about this, right? And so they're more interested in also your story because you've done it before and now they want to learn from you. So when I was doing vegan weight loss, I literally shared my before, my after of how I went from struggling with, vegan nutrition to losing weight and feeling the best ever. And I shared with them the steps along the way and my transformation. And then I started doing that with my other clients because they started having great transformation because they were utilizing my services and they were applying what I was teaching them. And so this was what made other people curious. But initially, again, start sharing your story and think about your own transformation. Like, where have you been before? Where are you now? What are the steps you've taken? And I know sometimes it's really difficult to talk about yourself, but trust me, you've been through something that other people want to hear about. You've been through something that other people want to learn how you've been through it. Like, how did you get from A to B? And so think about your own transformation, the steps you've taken, break it down, talk about it. And then once you get more clients, really utilize that. Talk about it all the time. Because what happens is that, and this is the next step that I'm about to share, is in my stories on Instagram or everywhere else, I showed behind the scenes of what we were doing in the program. So I was really showing, when we were on a call, I took a picture of all the clients that were there. I showed insides of the meal plans and how they look. I showed how people, utilize my training app. If you're doing something else, let's say you're a relationship coach, you can share, a picture with, a one-on-one session with your client and all the breakthroughs that she's had and list it out. There's so many ways that you can share what you're doing behind the scenes. People are so interested in that, and that will also build trust and authority with you, and people will be more likely to want to work with you because of that. And the next thing that I've done is I did sales calls. I feel like the world is split into two parts, people who like sales calls and people who don't like sales calls. To me personally, I hired someone who taught me about sales, and I'm so grateful I did, because I had no idea about sales. And that's also, the main theme of this is I hired someone to help me with this. And I decided I wanted to learn sales because I was so scared to sell. I was so scared to talk about my program. And I knew it was going to stop me in my business. If I don't know how to sell, how am I going to have a business? Business is selling. And so I hired a coach, and he, looked at my sales calls that I had before, and he changed everything for me and became really, really good at it. Still to this day, I actually enjoy it, because when I learned that selling is about the other person, not about yourself, everything flipped in my mind, and I was able to hold the space for the other person and not make it about myself, right? I think selling is blocking you when you make it about yourself and your own judgments rather than focusing on the person in front of you who actually needs your product or your service. Long story short, I was doing a lot of sales calls because the process that I had was people had to first apply to my program, share their information with me to see if they're the right fit, and then I would get on a call with them depending on if they were the right fit. And it was good for me because not only have I literally trained my sales muscle, but because I had these sales calls, I was able to build trust with the people that were sitting in front of me. I was able to build literally a relationship with them. And there's some people I'm still in touch with, some people who said yes to me on the call, and some people who came back a year later because they remembered the call that they had with me. The more true you are, the more you lead with your heart, which I really, really tried doing so much in these calls. I think that will go a long way. Yes, business is very, data and strategy and blah, 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 blah. But I think there is a different level to business that I truly appreciate, which is leading with your heart. And these sales calls allowed me to learn a lot from the people that were in front of me. So I was able to learn a lot and understand their pain points. And that also was data, of course, for me to understand, okay, how do I want to, what do I want to coach? How do I want to teach? How do I want to market my services? But at the same time, it has created an in-depth understanding about myself, about the people that were in front of me, and about sales. And that was, I think, the biggest win for me. And then, of course, lastly, which I will always talk about, mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, if you don't believe in yourself, if you are scared to show up, if you're scared to do the work, if you're scared to put yourself out there, if you're scared to sell, it's going to be really, really hard for you to have a successful business. especially if it's service-based business or it's a coaching business, you got to be willing to share your story. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. And if something is blocking you, I actually have a video on that. It's called subconscious blocks that are stopping your money flow. And it's going to be really good for you if you feel like you have those blocks and you can't really be yourself or show up fully how you would like to. So I'm going to link it down below for you to watch it. My whole business journey is so much more about who I've become rather than my results. I focus so much on the person that I want to be and on growing and, becoming stronger, becoming more wise, becoming all of these things rather than focusing too much on the result, because a result for me is a result of who I'm being. That means those 10,000, it's more of me becoming the best me so that these results happen because of who I am. And so ultimately it always goes back to mindset, who you're being, how you're showing up. All of that strategy doesn't matter if also you're holding yourself back or you're not happy with what you're doing. And, I would love to invite you to reflect if what you're doing right now is even what you want to do. Because I can tell you the reason also I've gotten to those 10Ks, because I loved so much what I was doing and I was having so much fun and it was just great. I had the time of my life and that's why I've gotten there. And so think about it for yourself too. If you have this passion, I truly think, the more passionate about you are about what you're doing, the more likely you're going to get to those results. And it's a combination of both mindset, strategy, your belief in yourself. That's really what I would love to end the video with. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know down below. I'm sending you so much love, and until the next time. Bye-bye.